Weirdos. Loving it. It's great.
Have you ever competed?
Every Saturday night, mate. I did a bit with Taekwondo, won the Biatomic Championship gold medal. But, you know, that was nothing. It was semi-contact. That wasn't really my thing. In fact, when I was a teenager, I was, you know, so obsessed about getting into the film business and doing it for films that I was more about learning the flashy kicks. As I've got older, I've developed more of an appreciation for the real arts. You know, I keep myself out of trouble. I like this guy.
Thanks, mate.
Thanks.
Okay, any more questions? Okay, we've got one. Okay, let's take over there Ez first, and then I'll move back soon.
Okay, Scott. So, two questions. What is a film that you wish you could have starred in, one that's already been made? And what would be the dream project in the future if there were no barriers?
Do you know what? Eco's a friend of mine, but man, those Raid movies, they're great, aren't they? I would have took the Raid. You know, when I saw the Raid, it was like, wow, I wish I'd had that idea. Die Hard with, you know, no weapons. What was the other question?
And if there was no barriers, it was...
Oh, I've done it, Accident Man. That was the one.
Yeah?
I hope we can make a second one. And we'll have next question for someone that isn't called Scott, please.
So next we're going to have Joaquin.
Hello, good night all. I am Spanish. I am the director of, sorry for my English. I am the director of Now Identity International Action Film Festival Spain, celebrated in Seville. I want to know if it's possible have the film, no, the Debt Collector, in Seville for the next edition.
100%, we'd be very happy to be there.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Hey, yeah. I really enjoyed the film, guys. I thought you did a great job, and congratulations to all of you. I kind of answered you on the stairs, but I didn't get to finish my question. I thought that the chemistry between Scott and Louis was, like, excellent for the movie. So we give them a round of applause. It's really rare, especially, you know, let's call it an indie movie, to really get that connection of your two leading stars and to hold it so well. And I wondered, probably for Jesse, you actually really, did it translate in the same way early on in the script that you thought it would, or were they two different characters to what you ended up with? Because we really enjoyed seeing what they created, obviously under your direction, so that's my question.
Well, thank you, James. Without being immodest, the reaction, the relationship that they had was far, far better than I'd ever imagined it was going to be. It was quite magical to watch, and it still is to watch it. I find it fantastic. There was something there. I mean, it was an immense amount of hard work on their part. You know, to gel those, it's not something, as you know, as a director, it's not something that comes just by chance. It comes from hard work and working out how you can, you know, how Louis can do something. You know, it's like two jazz players playing. They have to be of a certain caliber for the jam to work, and these guys really worked hard at it. They rehearsed and found a synchronicity that somehow sort of worked. And I think the fact that they both have similar backgrounds in the martial arts and in fighting and contact, but also as actors and struggling within the game and getting a taste of a little bit of disappointment here and there, even if it was nowhere near what French and Sue had to go through. The guys knew a little bit about it. They brought a little bit of that as actors to the table, and I think it plays really, really well. I loved watching it. I still love watching it. It's, in my opinion, far better than the script ever was. But there you go.
Yeah, and if I can add to that, it's really interesting. We talked about it earlier. You know, making movies is really until you've done it, it's a whole other world, and it's very difficult. And even if you make a movie, having it turn out somewhat decent is more difficult. I mean, it's the craziest thing to imagine. And you can read a script and it reads beautiful, and then you put it on its feet, and for some strange reason, it just doesn't work. But earlier, I just found this out, by the way. first day on set, I never met these guys. I'm sorry, I met Jess once, I never met Scott. First day on set, we start rehearsing the scene prior to walking into the big black guys, when we both those big black guys, and that was our first day on set. So here I am, all the producers are trying to cast this role. It's a great story, I think, where we start rehearsing and we're ready to roll, and it's first day, and he's got all the producers there, they're all on set watching the monitor, and if you've ever been on set, it's pretty nerve-wracking because you're over there, but you see 40 people watching the little box and watching your every little move, and you know, it's pressure, to say the least. So they say action on rehearsal, and I just found it incredibly funny when they shared it earlier. I started doing the whole coughing, dying soothe thing, and these guys thought I was serious. So they're sitting behind the monitor saying, oh, what the fuck did we get ourselves into here? Will this guy even live till the end of the shoot? Is that kind of what happened?
There were a lot of cold looks in my direction at that point. I didn't really
I
understand
thought
the
it's
story
had
anyway.
serious stomach issues because he kept going.
This is the first rehearsal, yeah.
And yeah, I said to Jesse, I think there's a problem. I think he's got a problem.
And I guess what I'm trying to say is that set the tone for the relationship. To answer your question up there, that from that moment we just bonded somehow, and Jesse's experienced enough to let us play. And so we started playing, and Jess would direct us, and then somehow, somewhere, we got this incredible relationship. And for an action movie, I don't know how you feel, but I don't know, man. It's probably the 5th time I've watched this movie, and I still get touched now and then because it reflects life, and it reflects humanity, and it reflects all of our journeys, and it's not always pleasant. You know, you could have the most talent and be the greatest at what you do, and for some reason, life brings you over here, and you're in the gutter with not a penny to your name. And I think that's what this movie reflects. It's not about these two guys kicking ass to me. So that's what I loved about it, and I think it has a big heart, and that's why I think it's doing real well. It's doing great in America. I think it's just come out here, right? But people are really responding, and I think that's why. But nonetheless, that's how it started. These guys thought I was dying, and I was giving an acting performance.
There's a slight epilogue to that story as well, which is as we watched it, and Scott and I go, oh God, you know, is he going to make it through the day? And then we saw the second take, and we realised that the coughs and the splutters are coming in an identical place on the second take. And at that point, it became a different kind of challenge because we realised, oh shit, we're up against a real actor on this one. We're going to actually have to bring our game up and work with him. And so it went from being a concern for his health to being a concern, you know, that what we let ourselves in for, is you're going to have to work for it. I mean, it was interesting. It was pretty fun.
I think we worked well together because we were in the same trailer. It was, you know, Lou was this side, I was this side, and in the middle of us was these toilets that absolutely stank.
It's terrible.
I don't know if it was me or you, but they stank. Okay, but he was always next door, and quite soon we got into the. I would always knock on your door, wouldn't I, and say, let's go through the scene. Yeah. And it's the two-hander, isn't it? Really, the film. So we were always discussing each scene before we did it, rehearsing it with one another, and we always turned up ready to go. And you know what it's like, James. There's never any time, so we were always ready, but always just enjoying the work and trying to get everything from each scene as much as we could.
I should say that neither of them have bowel problems. We have the cheapest line producer in America. It's probably a condemned trailer, but it's not actually allowed to be used.
I think it was the transport guy, to be honest.
Because I never used that bathroom, by the way, so it wasn't me.
All right, can we get a question from the back as well, because we've done the front quite a bit.
About the trailer.
Sorry. I saw someone back there. Let's go, Ez. I'll try and get everyone in, and then it's a lot of you.
Thanks, guys. It was a really great movie. I really enjoyed it. Question for Jesse. What advice do you have for young writer-directors trying to emulate your career?
My personal career, I think, was one based upon an awful lot of very foolish risks, and I wouldn't suggest anyone emulate it because I'm amazed I'm still directing after some of the ones I directed at the beginning of my career. But that being said, it's through the work. I would say go to a good film school and just keep working, and at least the film schools nowadays are set up in a way where the information you're getting was actually relevant to getting a job in the career, a career in the business. I'm a little older now. When I was looking around the film schools, it seemed to be, it wasn't set up, to make a living. It was set up to put you into the system as a teacher. I would make movies, I would write like crazy, keep writing, write, give them to everyone you can to read those scripts when they're written, and take the bad advice and just keep working on it. Read whatever you can. Watch movies that are more than 10 or 20 years old. You know, the most boring thing in the world is to watch a movie made by someone whose entire filmography goes back a maximum of 20 years, and I can tell straight away when I see those movies, and they bore me instantly. I know within the first few minutes of seeing the film that they don't have the scope of knowledge of films that they should have to really be out there. And there's a rich depth of films that, you just go back a little ways, and there's, it's all been done before, and that's where you get the richness from. And so I'd say watch as many movies as possible, read as much as possible, and get out there and do it, without being too harsh about it. That's about as good advice as I can give right off the bat. But it sounds like most of the guys here are doing anyway, which is fantastic.
Question for Jesse and kind of Louis and Scott. The scene where Louis' character kind of talked about his daughter, and it was that like really one kind of long take on that whole conversation. Had that intended to be